Hey everybody, Justin here. Thank you for checking out this video. In this video, I wanted to share some educational resources that I have on my site. These are like randomized worksheets for kids. I guess they could be for adults too in some instances, but during the COVID times, a lot of ourselves and our family and a lot of our friends, their kids were at home, and there's a demand for lots of these type of worksheets because there was some schools were just not prepared, for the schooling from home. So I had just started cranking these out. We do a lot of stuff with randomness in this household, and my wife and I are both mathematical statisticians, so we use randomness to solve a lot of problems at work, but also increasingly at home. And we thought, hey, this is pretty straightforward in some cases to do for educational worksheets. And the idea is that we put a lot of thought in advance. So when we need a worksheet, we can just open up an Excel file, press print, it prints it out. It's created randomly, it's fresh every time, easily updated, and so forth. So I wanted to share some of those. These are totally free. You can go to my site at statisticool.com and I have this kids activity. I might rename that to like educational resources or something like that, but kids activities. And I have, a dozen or so listed here. And these range from, story prompts to the 100 grid, inequalities, looking at fractions, random times on the clock, skip counting practice, little subtraction stories, practicing contractions, writing numbers in longhand, and times table bingo. I want to share one that I thought it was pretty fun myself, and that's this. Oh, and I have a math problem generator here too. But in any case, this typos spreadsheet. So my son is really good at finding typos and things, and so you can find typos, and that helps proofread your own work or someone else's, and also to spell correctly, of course. And if you can identify typos, that means you're spelling things correctly. So I wanted to share this. I have a little introduction here and a screenshot, and then we'll look at the actual spreadsheet. So if you have a typo, I define that as like one letter is either inserted into a word, substituted, or deleted from a word. Otherwise, it's spelled correctly. So, for example, if we look at this screenshot here, see if I can make it a little bigger. There we go. So here, this word is obviously like a typo. Crime is spelled correctly. Paper spelled correctly. So you see both here. It has a Y inserted. So that's an insertion. So what I do is I have the length of the word and I pick a random location, and then I pick a random letter from the alphabet and insert it. So that's an insertion. This is another one here. This one, however, frog, this is a replacement. So again, I pick a random location, and then it picked the fourth, it was G there, and then I pick a random letter to replace the G, in this case the J. Okay, now I don't have any examples here of deletions, but it would just be, say you have the word carrying, and one of those R's you just simply remove from the word, and that would be an example of a deletion. So let me open up the actual spreadsheet. I have downloaded this, so let me bring that up. Let me move myself out of the way again. Always getting in the way. Okay, so let me just explain how this works for the parents or guardians or whatever, that you can edit this spreadsheet very easily. So column A is just a list of all the words you want to display over here. So there's like a master list of words. I just downloaded, let me see how many, 500 or so. Yeah, I mean you can really load that column up with as many words as you want. Nouns, adjectives, verbs, whatever you want. You can find lists of words online if you look for vocabulary appropriate for grade 6 or 5th grade or whatever. And I just looked up stuff, all over the place. I think I went up to, well, I don't think I actually had a limit on those. I just think I looked at general lists. Column B is just the alphabet A through Z. Column C samples about 18 or so words from column A. You can edit this as you like. Just please, attribute statistical.com or Justin Smith to this idea, but you feel free to edit it. If 18 is too many for your child or whatever, just delete these here and make 9 or 3 words or whatever you want. In any case, these columns are kind of helper columns. So this column just gives the length of the word in column C. This column picks a random position. So return has 6 letters. If I need to do an insertion or deletion, or replacement, whatever, I'm going to pick the 4th character in return. Okay. Column F just picks a random letter from the alphabet, so from this column. In column G, H, and I, they actually carry out the insertion, substitution, and deletion. So they actually carry out that process. Now, I calculate it here, but I'm not doing those on, I'm not showing the substitution, insertion, substitution, and deletion for each word over here. So what I'm doing is I'm using a random number to decide which one of these I'm going to use over here. And that's what this random number is for in this column. That's also what some parameters over here are for. You can set the probability of it being an insertion, the typo being a substitution, or the typo being based on a deletion. Or those, if you sum those and subtract that from 1, you just get the probability of it not being a typo, so the probability of the word being spelled correctly. So that's what these parameters here highlighted in yellow are. You can see these are each all at 8%, and so the probability of correct is about 76%. If you wanted more insertion, some typos based on insertions, say, I don't know, 25%, just change this to 0.25 and everything else will update accordingly. Okay, and then you would notice, that there will be more insertion typos in here. For example, if I make each one of these 0, and then let me change this to 0.85 or something very large, you can see that as you look through these, they're mostly insertions, typos based on insertions, with a small % of them being correct, and no typos are from substitutions or deletions. So that's how the spreadsheet works. Let me change these back to how they were. Because we found kind of through trial and error that this is a pretty good setup. Around 10%, roughly 10% for each type of typo, but more words spelled correctly than typos. That seemed to work pretty well. So I have this date here, some instruction at the top of almost all these type of randomized worksheets we have. And when you print, so if I do File Print, what it's going to do is I set the print area to just be that. So that helps a lot. The parent or even the kid can, this stuff is all used, but when you print, this is set to the print area. So that's going to be what, you can open up the spreadsheet, print it, and it takes literally a second to get a worksheet for the day. Can do multiple of these a day. If you press F9 in Excel, it refreshes random numbers, which refreshes a lot of this stuff. And so you can just keep going through and, you know, do it that way. But yeah, you can make this list of words super, super large. In fact, the larger you make it, the better, because it is possible, but very unlikely to get a word to repeat. You know, in other words, for embarrassed to show up here twice or 3 times or 4 times or whatever. It's possible, but what's going to happen, first of all, it's extremely improbable. And second, even if it shows up here, it's not going to have a typo the same way, most likely. So, but anyways, the bigger you make the list, the more you minimize the same word appearing twice. So, or more. So, but yeah, all the times we did this, and we did at least one a day for almost a full year of school, you know, and we never got any repeats. So, but I just wanted to share this. So again, this is the typos spreadsheet or worksheet that I have here at statistical.com/education, then typos.html. Feel free to, like I said, to check it out. Just a free spreadsheet. Download it. You can change it. Just keep the attribution. And yeah, just check out some of the other ones that are here. I think you might like them. I'll do a video maybe. I won't do a video on all of these, but I'll probably do a video on the random clocks and maybe the parts of speech or something. Because yeah, we found those pretty useful. So anyways, that's all I got. Definitely, I thank you for checking out this video. I hope it's useful, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.